Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today, it's actually tonight. Well, it's today. It's February 1st, which means that I get to start reading my February TBR. It is actually 12:30 at night, so I really need to go to bed, but I'm going to read for a little bit since I've been on my computer. I was finishing up my January wrap-up, so that way that can go up very soon. And I am in a team TBR challenge in my book club. I have a book club on Facebook that I started a few years ago. It's really fun, but we're doing this team challenge, and so I need to like literally start reading since it's February 1st. Because I'm doing a reading vlog, I didn't want to start Razorblade Tears because this is going to be a spoiler vlog this month. This is my Patreon book club read, which I am super excited for that. It's been so hard for me to choose like what book I wanted to start reading, but I have For Your Own Good, which was a really good contender on Instagram. A lot of people wanted me to read this one. Then I also have, this is my TBR, I also have Reminders of Him, which I really want to read. Oh, hey, Graham. So, what do I pick? Okay, not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna go with Reminders of Him as my first book because I'm just really excited for it, okay?
I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much about you, what things you like and what you don't. It's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? I know I'm feeling something for you. The way you look, the way you laugh, and how you move. It kinda makes me
Hello,
go
good morning.
crazy.
So it is actually 12:38. I am on a reading sprint for Patreon, but I'm taking a break and making some tea. I have been reading Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. It was like okay this morning. I was reading, I think around, was that like the 20 to 30 page mark this morning before I kind of really started my Patreon reading sprint. But the last like 20 minutes or so that I've been on the sprint, I have been listening to it. I did the Kindle Unlimited like free 3-month trial, and they actually have like the audiobook version on there, which is super great. So I've been listening to it, and I just got to page 70, and like the Colleen Hoover that I love is like there, and I am just so excited because I wasn't sure how I was feeling about this book, but I think that I am going to like it. And I really like that she's already kind of giving us some answers on what's going on in the book, because like the synopsis and the story in general I feel like is very vague. We obviously know that because it's like Reminders of Him is the title, that there was like a death of some sort and like you're remembering that person. But I honestly didn't know what this book was about, and I didn't really read the synopsis. I think I read the synopsis like, I don't know, months ago when I pre-ordered it, but I didn't want to read it right now because I wanted to kind of go in blind and like really appreciate the story. What I love so much about Colleen Hoover compared to like other romance authors, I feel like when other romances write the like the dark part of the story, or like, you know, the bad part of the story where, you know, everything stemmed from that one moment, I feel like theirs is never believable, and it's never like an actual legitimate reason, or it's like a stupid reason. But I feel like Colleen Hoover just does such a great job just reading about like why one of the main characters was like in prison for years, and she just got out, and that's where like her story is starting. She does have a daughter, so she's currently on like the move trying to find her daughter, but it's like, but the reason that she was in prison blows my mind. And it's just like, it's just so nice to see that stuff in romances because it doesn't feel cheesy. It feels like real life situations. And that's one of the reasons why I've always loved Colleen Hoover. So I'm going to finish making tea. I'm just having black tea and then I'm gonna put milk and honey in it, but then I'm going to sit down and read some more. I'm reading for about 15 more minutes and then doing a little like talking on Patreon and stuff. And then we're gonna read for another 45 minutes before I have to go to work because I have to go to work today. But I really am hoping that I can I don't know, can I finish the book today? I'm gonna be listening to it at work as long as I'm like cooking and I can listen to the audiobook. Maybe I'll get to like wash dishes and listen to it too. But it would be so great if I could finish this today or maybe even tomorrow and just like pump out the books.
I've been trying my best for a while, trying to please everyone who's around me. I've been putting on my face.
Time for me to go to work. Unfortunately, I'm running a little bit late. The books for the blind date for my Patreon showed up, which I am so excited about. And I got 50% of the way through my Colleen Hoover book that I'm reading. I'm really hoping that I'm able to listen to more of it while I'm at work. I requested to cook today because my supervisor is so nice. And so I usually am able to listen to about an hour and a half to 2 hours of an audiobook while I'm cooking because we're closed on the one side. So I can just like cook and kind of like zone out and listen to my audiobook. So really excited for that because I might be able to get close to finishing this book today, which is amazing. Then I have the next 2 days off, which I do have a lot of like errands and cleaning the house and stuff, but I know you love all that content. So you'll be happy with that and I'll be listening to an audiobook for it. Right now with the Colleen Hoover book, I am not quite like loving it as much as I've loved some of her other books, but I am halfway through. So like, who knows, I might actually like it more. It's hovering at like a 4-star right now. I really love like the deeper impacts of it, but I'm just kind of waiting to see like how the ending is gonna go, if there's gonna be any like more shocking things. Right now it's like good, it's just not having me in tears like all your perfects, you know?
I want to be there and baby dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better.
Okay, it is 12:40 p.m. I just got finished with my long pampering shower since I'm off the next 2 days. I always love like doing all my like hair masks and exfoliating and all that kind of stuff on the last day that I work. I did finish Reminders of Him. I read this whole book today, which I am super proud of myself for doing. Most of it I read before work and then I was able to listen to it at work and coming home from work. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna rate it, but it's between a 3 and a 4-star. I liked the story, and yes, there were emotional parts in the story, but I feel like I was just missing like something more in it. I don't know. I think it's just because maybe I'm like kind of falling out of the romance genre, and even though I love Colleen Hoover's writing, like the writing in the book is so good, and even when she said the title of the book closer to the end, like those instances, like they'll give me goosebumps, but all in all, it's not like I'm gonna really remember the story, or it's not like it's, you know, something that like really stuck with me or that I feel like I'm gonna be raving about. So that's why I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's a 3.5, I guess. I just hate doing the half stars on Goodreads because you still have to pick if you're rating a 3 or a 4. I totally wish they would change that because this would be a 3.5 for me, I think. But now that I finished this, I'll be able to start a new book in the morning. I'm planning on cleaning the house and stuff tomorrow and doing all my laundry. So I think I'm going to read For Your Own Good because I think I have the audiobook for this from Libby or Scribd. I'll have to look exactly, but this is going to be my next read, and hopefully it's interesting enough for me to actually like it and maybe finish it tomorrow. Maybe. It's not a big deal if I don't finish it tomorrow. My goal is to finish it by Thursday, which is my other day off, so ideally it would be nice to finish it that night. Yeah, it looks like I do have For Your Own Good on Libby. I also have Hunger, so maybe I would try and read both of those. If I'm not feeling the like thriller prompt, then I might move on to a nonfiction, because I actually have a few nonfiction for this month. And it's nice to kind of like spread out my genres, if that makes sense. I'm actually going to head to bed because I am tired and I need to wake up not too late in the morning. I do want to like sleep in a little bit, but I don't want to wake up too late because I want to be able to like get the house clean and do all that stuff, so that way I can relax in the second half of the day. So I will see you in the morning.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how. Got this sweet talk, I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Why you blushing? Yeah, sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. Good girl. Show me something, give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how. Got this sweet talk, I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. We've been dancing all night long, right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now, but I'm done waiting, done wasting my time. Got this sweet talk, I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Sweet talk, sweet
It is 1:42 in the afternoon, and I just finished getting all of my cleaning done. I put makeup on, I curled my hair, changed my clothes from all my cleaning clothes I was wearing earlier. I do have some loads of laundry going still. I think it will probably take a few more hours just in order to get all of that done. But I was able to listen to my audiobook during that whole time that I was cleaning, which was great because I got to 44% of For Your Own Good. I've been listening to it on Libby at 2.5 times the speed. This is actually like a super slow narrated audiobook. When I had it on 2 times the speed, I thought it was regular speed. That's how slow it was. So you could easily probably move that up. I just wanted to be able to focus while I was cleaning, so I didn't want it to be too fast. So far, this book is about this like prestigious school, which I'm kind of been liking because I work at a university and it's one of those very like uppity rich universities, and most of the time I'm complaining about how these students just think that they deserve everything and they want everything handed to them on a plate. And it's kind of cool because the main character that we're reading from, his name is Ted, and he is kind of teaching these children a lesson because they are all very rich children. They have a lot of things given to them. And so we are just reading like through his like mindset and his own narration of what he thinks about these children, what he's doing, why he doesn't think that they, you know, deserve an A, or what, you know, why he wants them to work harder for certain things instead of just having money. So I'm actually really liking it. I'm not sure how it's going to like change though, because the part that I'm at now is kind of like a murder investigation. We already know like who did what, so I'm not exactly sure about where it's gonna go, like where the shocking part is, if that makes sense. I feel like most of the time when I'm reading thrillers, I kind of like the whodunits more than the whydunits. I'd much rather be shocked at the end of, whoa, I didn't realize that like that was the person that we were supposed to be hating, you know, something like that. I feel like this book is kind of, everything's already out for you to know about, and I'm not exactly sure if we're just waiting for that person to get caught or what the purpose of the book is, which it kind of makes me nervous because I read Samantha Downing's book. He started it, and again, I was enjoying the storyline, you know, enjoying where it was going, but I thought it was a waste of my time when I got to the end, and I was like, wait, I already, like, what? This is what I was reading about. So I'm hoping that that's not how this book is going to be. But I will say that Samantha Downing has a really good writing style. Like, she is very good at writing, not, I wouldn't say like things that are thrilling. It's not like John Mars, where he ends his chapters on like a cliffhanger every chapter, which makes you want to keep reading. Like, those are more thrilling. But I think that she just does a really good job writing her characters for you to be interested in what they're going to say. And I think that Ted's character is very interesting, in my opinion, for like the thoughts that he has in his head. So we'll see where this goes. I made myself some of my favorite Bigelow vanilla chai tea in my Animal Crossing mug. And since I'm at a stopping point, I actually can't leave the house today until I get my delivery, because today my IVF, well, some of my IVF meds are coming and I have to be here to sign. Plus you have to keep some of them at certain temperatures. Some of them you have to refrigerate, and then some of them can be room temp. So I have to stay at home until those show up and sign for them and everything. I believe they're coming by FedEx by 4:30. So since I'm at a stopping point, I believe I'm going to hop on my computer and start working on some computer work. That's my washing machine. It literally is like a piece of trash and it's going to break soon. But I think I'm gonna work on next the blind date with the books that I have for Patreon, because the big order came yesterday. So I need to wrap all of those books and write like the secret words on them and get them shipped out, as well as I can work on February bookmarks. So I have a lot of like office work I can work on, and I think I'm gonna still try and listen to the audiobook while I do that, since it's like wrapping books is just like mundane, you know what I mean? So we're gonna do that and we're gonna get that work done. Today feels like a really, really good day. Anytime I clean the house, I'm just in a really, really good mood, and I'm excited for tomorrow because I still have off tomorrow, and I'm excited that I'm halfway through my second book of the month, and today is February 2nd. Mind blown.
Kinda simple, kinda wishful about things, and you're kinda simple.
Okay, a lot has happened in the last few hours. It is 5:53. I'm going to start getting dinner ready, but I was wrapping books and listening to my book, and I finished it. I am so proud of myself. I literally read a book a day so far. I mean, I know it's only February 2nd, but like that hardly ever happens for me. And it was just so nice to be able to read and get everything done that I needed to get done. I still am working on my last load of laundry. One load is in the dryer that I'll actually have to put away, and then I was washing like the front rug that's in the washing machine right now, but that's easy because you don't have to fold it. So for your own good, I am rating 3 stars. I'm sorry, Teresa. I am so thankful that you bought this for me, but unfortunately, it just wasn't something that really made me fall in love with it. I will say I really enjoyed the writing style and it was very easy to listen to. I feel like with this being labeled a thriller, there was not anything thrilling in it. So like I said before, I really like whodunits, and you already knew who was doing everything the whole entire time. And so this kind of felt just like a mystery. I don't know, I've never read a cozy mystery, but it just felt like a very, I can't even think of like what I'm trying to describe other than the fact that going into this, you already know who is committing all of the murders, and the whole rest of the story is just more people being murdered. You know what's happening, but like obviously other characters don't really know what's happening, or like the police don't know what's happening. So you're being interwebbed like through that storyline. And I do like that the title, like For Your Own Good, was put in throughout the whole book. Like it was like, oh, you know, those rich kids, you know, for their own good. But other than that, there wasn't really anything for me to really care about. I was definitely not shocked at any point. So I just can't view this as like a very thrilling book. I will say something specific is the fact that I didn't feel like these murders were really planned. And I think that if they would have had more attention to the detail of the planning of who you were going to murder next, why you were going to murder that person next, I feel like I would actually have really liked this book and could have given it a higher rating. Those are my thoughts on For Your Own Good. I actually had to spin the bottle for my next read because that was one of the like activity prompts that I'm doing in my book club team challenge. And so I really wanted to get a nonfiction book next. But I ended up spinning for A Large Expanse at Sea. So I'll probably start that one on audio because I do have that audiobook. I'm not sure if I'm gonna start it tonight though. I might just turn on some music while I'm cooking and finishing up some book stuff. And then when Alvin gets home, I know we're gonna wanna catch up on all of our shows because it's like one of the only times we actually get to do that. I did get my IVF meds earlier, well, one of them, and then I did get the phone call for me to order all the rest of them. And I am so excited because they actually came back with my insurance quote and exactly how much I had to pay. I had to go ahead and pay that because they are mailing them out. They're coming on Friday. And it was $2,551, which is less than I even expected. I actually had that much saved in a fund for baby Wheeler. I'm really excited. That is only for the medications. That is not including any of the other parts of the cycle. So I do have a little donation fund set up. If you want to help donate to my IVF, just even whatever you can is like what I am super thankful for. It's like so incredibly excited, and to think that like next week is when I'm going to be like starting to do all my medications. The needles came in today. I'm a little scared. I'll probably show you like all the meds that come in on Friday, but I'll only make that a smaller portion and not show you every single day everything that comes in. So I guess I'm going to listen to A Very Large Expanse of Sea, but I also might start reading a physical book at the same time. Since I'm off tomorrow, I probably should get a physical book done that doesn't have an audiobook. So maybe I'll read Pretty Stolen Dolls tomorrow. That might be a good one for me to like quick slide in there. Okay, for dinner time, I'm going to make recipe. I actually need to meal plan and go grocery shopping because like I literally have nothing in my fridge. But I had some like leftover sourdough bread that didn't rise as well as I wanted it to. So I'm gonna turn it into this sourdough breakfast strata, which is gonna be sourdough bread, sausage, and like cheese and eggs. If it turns out well, I'll put the recipe down below for you all. It seems pretty simple. I already actually have my bread. I like cut it up and started toasting it in the oven. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm gonna pull this out and turn on some music. I've been obsessed with listening to 70s music recently. I don't know why. I'm probably getting in the mood for that Breaking Free cult book that I have to read soon. But I'm gonna go ahead and make this so that way it can be in the oven and I won't have to like get back up and do anything for when like Alvin comes home. We can just eat and I can focus on more of my book stuff.
Like a pistol, you fire. Sometimes you get under my skin like a lover, and sometimes you don't wanna come I'm so tired of hearing all your stories about the drunk nights, bragging in the glory. You're such a nice guy when you're not just talking about yourself and the way of how you dwell. I get it. Oh, I'm so tired of hearing all your stories about your rich friends traveling Mercedes. You're such a nice guy when you're not just talking about yourself and the way of how you dwell. Don't you get it? You do it right. Hold me tight when I need it. And you always like what I like we know each other. But sometimes you get under my skin like a lover, and sometimes you don't wanna come back 'cause you'd rather stay out with another, talking to strangers and make out spontaneously. Oh, I'm so tired of hearing all your stories about your rich friends traveling Mercedes. You're such a nice guy when you're not just talking about yourself and the way of how you dwell. Don't you get it?
Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. It's my next day off, and I am currently drinking some Lady Grey tea, and I am working on setting up my meal plan and grocery list because I need to go and get groceries today and figure out what we're eating for the rest of the week because I have no groceries in my fridge. I'm actually setting up a template on Notion. If you didn't know, Notion's like this fantastic way of organizing like your whole entire life on the computer. It's totally free and I absolutely love it. It's almost like bullet journaling, but in web form. So I still use my bullet journals for things that I find better that work on paper, but then I use Notion for things that I feel like work better, you know, having access on your phone or on a computer. So I usually meal plan in my bullet journal, but I'm actually setting up some spreads in my Notion template so that way I can see which I like better, especially since I've been using a lot more online recipes recently. Normally I just get recipes from cookbooks and it's always just been easier to like write the page number down in my bullet journal. But since I've been using online recipes, I've had my phone out anyway, so I could just be pulling things up on Notion while I have my phone out. But I'm actually filming all of this in a video over on my main channel. It will be up by the time you're watching this video, so if you're curious to see, I am going to be showing you, it's like a whole plan with me, like all different aspects of my life. So it's gonna be a plan with me in my bullet journal, just a few spreads that I'm setting up. It's going to be me showing you my meal planning system in Notion and what meals I'm picking for this week. And it's also gonna be showing you my budget spread in Notion and me talking about the digital envelope system, Cube, that I use in order to save. So it's a big plan with me video, and I'm hoping to do one every single month over on my main channel. I'm kind of combining all of that stuff together, and I do plan all of that stuff every single month. I figured like it would be really cool to show you all. So if you're interested, you can hop on over there. While I'm setting up my grocery list and stuff like that, I was thinking about reading more of A Very Large Expanse of Sea. I actually read, I think 18% of this last night. After we got finished watching our shows, I realized that I still needed like 2,000 more steps because I'm in a step vet, so I had to get those in. So I ended up putting on the audiobook for this and walking. I always walk around like my island, and so I ended up just listening and walking. It's been good. It's obviously a young adult book, so I don't think it's going to be just one of my favorites because young adult books are just not geared towards my age group, obviously, and I have a really hard time connecting with teenagers, especially since I was homeschooled and I always feel kind of out of the loop of anything they talk about revolving school or school friendships or, you know, bullying or anything like that. Like I've never went to school. I just went to college, but all of the other like grades 1 through 12, never set foot in a school. So sometimes I have a really hard time relating to young adult books because of that, but the underlying story is actually good, and I like seeing just how Shirin is being treated as a Muslim girl. I think those topics are very important. However, I'm just really in the mood for a nonfiction book, so I don't think I want to listen to A Very Large Expanse of Sea while I'm meal planning. And when I go up and grocery shop, I'm gonna be going up to like where I used to live, so that's a 45-minute drive. I'm gonna be listening to an audiobook probably on that drive. So I'm thinking of starting Hunger by Roxane Gay, which I have that on Libby as well, and that is supposed to be a memoir about her body, and I think there's gonna be some hard-hitting topics in there, specifically about plus size representation, I think some things about rape culture, and so I'm just like really interested to read kind of like more adult topics, nonfiction topics, so I think that's what I'm going to listen to while I am working on my meal planning spread. Okay, I am finally headed to go get groceries and stuff, and as you can see, it's like raining, which is great and fine and dandy and stuff, huh? So it took me longer than I expected to film the plan with me thing. It is 12:48 and I ran out of milk, so I don't have a coffee with me right now, which I'm probably gonna stop at Starbucks because why not? But Starbucks is literally at the place I'm going to, so I'm still gonna have to drive like 45 minutes with no coffee. But I think the plan with me turned out good, and I listened to 12% of Hunger by Roxane Gay, and I'm enjoying it. I'm going to listen to on my drive there. Let's go grab some coffee and get some groceries. I love buying groceries on the rainy day, don't we? Okay, it is 4:40. I got back from running my errands, doing my grocery shopping. I actually just put a chuck roast in the Instapot because I think we're gonna have a chuck roast with, I'm gonna do like potatoes and I'm gonna roast carrots and do like a maple butter glaze over the carrots. I think that will be really good. And then I'll make like a gravy with whatever the pot roast juices are so we can put them over the potatoes. And then I might make or start a batch of English muffins later. So throughout my whole entire day, I was listening to Hunger by Roxane Gay, and ooh, that rhymes. And I'm actually really loving it. I am 62% of the way through, and I need to finish up wrapping the Patreon blind dates, so I'm going to listen to more. But I am really loving so much of what she's saying about being a plus size woman. She actually does weigh a lot heavier than I do, so I will say that I don't know exactly like how she feels in certain instances, but I feel like it's really important to read books about things that not just yourself relates with. Like I can relate to a lot of what she's saying about being overweight and like the thoughts in your head and stuff, because I am overweight, and according like with my BMI, you know, I need to be a lot thinner, all that kind of stuff. But there's definitely some things, let me see if I can find them in the book, because there were some things that she said that I thought were pretty important. So number one, the part about when she got raped as a young child, she was 12. It gave me goosebumps and chills. Like it was just not a good thing to read about, even though like I totally appreciate the story. It's just very sad to have read that part about her life. Okay, so this was a part that I thought was just spot on. I recognize that despite what certain weight loss system commercials would have me believe, I cannot eat everything and anything that I want. And that is one of the cruelties of our cultural obsession with weight loss. We're supposed to restrict our eating while indulging in the fantasy that we can indeed indulge. It's infuriating. When you're trying to lose weight, you cannot have anything you want. That is, in fact, the whole point. Having anything you want is likely what contributed to your weight gain. Dieting requires deprivation, and it's easier when everyone faces that truth. When I am dieting, I try to face that truth, but I am not terribly successful. I just feel like that is so so true. Everyone just wants you to think that like, oh my gosh, of course you should be like happy dieting. Like all the skinny people, they just get to eat whatever they want. No, that's not actually true. She also talked about what it's like having to find clothes to buy at the size that she's at, which I didn't even think about that. Like, especially the size that I'm at, it's readily available in the stores. You can find size 14 clothes, but she cannot find the size. And it is very sad to think about that. Like I can see a picture of someone, or even on TikTok, I've seen that where they're like, oh, this picture on Instagram, make it a size 14. They can do that because those clothes are readily available in that size. So whether it was a size 2 or a size 14, they're able to do that. But she is not able to do that. Like she is saying how there's hardly any clothes in the size that she's in, and even if you don't like it, like you just buy it because you need something to wear. And that is incredibly sad to think about. So, and to say the least, I am really, really loving this book. I can see this being a 5-star at the end, and I think that everyone should read it. So I'm going to go wrap the books and hopefully finish this book. Sorry, that's my Instapot building pressure.
I won't make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh, so give me your all. I'll take it tomorrow.
Hello, good morning. So today is Friday, actually. It is 9:07. I'm here at work because I get to work the 9 to 5:30 shift, which means you clean the turbo, which is this thing. If you have been watching my channel, you've probably seen me clean the turbo like a million different times. If you're new, well, yeah, that's what happens when I work 9 to 5:30. Yesterday, I ended up finishing Hunger. I had packaged up all of my blind date books for Patreon. It was like 31 books, and that took me like a good chunk of my time. So I listened to Hunger the whole time, and I ended up giving it 5 stars. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I mean, obviously, when we're talking about like memoirs, especially about heartbreaking topics, I feel like I always have to put this disclaimer in, but it's like, I'm not giving a book 5 stars because I'm like glad that that person had to go through what they had to go through. I just feel like it makes me have a better understanding of not only that person, but in other people in general, especially since I was homeschooled. I feel like I have different, what should I say, experiences than people that went to school or grew up. I mean, everyone, I guess, that grows up has different experiences, but a lot of times they're like, people have gone through things that I didn't even realize was possible. Me reading memoirs, especially about topics about like rape culture, or even with Roxanne, like her being a plus size weight, like I'm definitely learning about things and learning just like how that person feels, like what their feelings are about the situation, the correct way to approach that. So I really, really loved it. I'm so glad. Let's just thank Gwen, okay? Because I almost unhauled that book last month because I thought it was a poetry book. Like, I knew it was a memoir, but I had read In the Dream House in December, and that is also a memoir, but that was a poetry book, and everything just like went over my head. Like the topics just, it did not work for me. So I thought Hunger was the same way, and that's why I was unhauling it. And Gwen was like, no, don't unhaul it. It's not a poetry. And I'm so glad because that was a 5-star read. So thanks for looking out for me. And if I ever try and unhaul any books that I am mistakenly think are something else, let me know, so that way I don't make that mistake again. So today I guess I'm going to continue on with a large expanse of sea. I am 24% into it. Oh, I forgot to say also, I started listening to Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered yesterday, and I am DNFing that book and unhauling it. I have never listened to the podcast My Favorite Murderer, so I just felt like I didn't care about the girls. Especially, I like started listening to it right after Hunger, and I was like, I don't care about these people. So I'm actually going to unhaul that book, DNF that book, I think that people that listen to the podcast would definitely appreciate it more than me, but I guess I thought it was gonna be like actual stories about murders and stuff like that, but it's just about their life, and since I don't even know who they are, I don't even know what they look like, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna be returning that one, but I think I'm gonna do a very large expanse of C, try and finish that today. I can't believe I have been reading a book a day. Like, who am I? Who am I? Okay, back from work. It's 6:42. I had to go pick up a Walmart order when I got out of work, which I clocked out at 5:30. And then I had to like sit and wait for the Walmart order. And then I had to run into Walmart because in my team challenge, this like pop-up activity, you only have 24 hours to do it. You have to unwrap Hershey Kisses with only one hand and see how many you can eat within a minute. So I went into Walmart quickly and got dark chocolate Hershey Kisses. Okay, I'm gonna do the candygram with Alvin because figured it could be a competition if we do it. So just with one hand, as many as you can unwrap, but you gotta unwrap, put it in your mouth, and then unwrap the next one, so you're gonna have like multiple in your mouth. Does that make sense?
So I don't eat it as I'm unwrapping, I just keep keeping them in my mouth?
No, you can like chew them and stuff. Okay. And he's gonna set the 1 minute timer on his phone. Okay? Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Go. Get out of here. You trash. You trash.
Oh my god, I ate paper. Ew.
Oh.
How are you doing that so fast?
Mad cook. I never even knew I could do this. Oh my god. This is a skill.
Oh my god, so much paper. How are you done?
Well, bro. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I got the last one. How many was that?
Well. 11.
I only have 7, so you
What a scrub.
You can. And then, you know, I just brought in the groceries and put them away. So it's 6:43. I'm gonna hop in the shower really quickly, but I did finish my book, A Large Expanse of Sea, while I was at work, because today was actually a really good day at work. I had a lot of like prep stuff to do, so I was able to clean the turbo and listen to my audiobook for almost 2 hours actually this morning, and then I had another like hour to hour and a half of prep, so I totally was able to finish that audiobook. Super excited. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm finishing a book a day. This is nuts. So I'm gonna quick hop in the shower so that way I just feel more relaxed and a little bit better. I'm probably gonna pour myself a glass of wine, and I was going to do just like really easy burgers. I have like frozen burgers and stuff, but I only had my break at 3 o'clock at work, so I'm actually not hungry. So I think I'll just have Alvin eat leftovers, and he can always make burgers tomorrow. I'm gonna be working, but he can just, that's something easy for him to do. I do need to feed my sourdough starter though, because I want to make bread so I can make my corn chowder that I meal planned for. So I should probably feed that, so I might be able to mix up bread later today. And I also brought home a bunch of bananas that we were gonna throw away at work. They're like super, there's a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna put some of them in my freezer because we like using them for smoothies, and they just get composted at work when they get that bad. But then I'm also gonna be making the banana bread, this sourdough banana chocolate chip bread. I've made it twice in the last 2 weeks. It is so good. I'll try and remember to leave the link down below. But yeah, it's amazing. It's literally the best. This is how good my dog is. There's literally a treat right there. And he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. Do you want the treat? Yeah, I don't know what Daddy ordered, but look, right here's a treat. Do you see it? It's right here. Do you see it? Get it! You don't even see it, do you? Get it! Eat it, Cram! He's like, where? Yeah! Woo! Good job! Are you a good boy? Okay, so took a shower. Sorry, I'm looking a little like a wet rat, but it's fine. Okay, so I said I had finished this book earlier today, and I'm going to give it 4 stars. I believe that if I was a young adult, I could have given it 5 stars, but there's definitely like some disconnect. I would say in particular, being like a 16-year-old character in here, the drama was a little much for just dating in general, where, you know, obviously when you're 16, you think that the boy that you like, oh my gosh, like the world's gonna end if like he doesn't like you back, or like things like that. As an adult, I can definitely like see like, oh yeah, I kind of remember, you know, when I was a dumb 16-year-old, you know, things like that. But the main storyline of this, the main logistics of it, I really enjoyed. I thought that there were some really hard topics. Shireen definitely wasn't my all-time favorite character, and they even talked about it a lot in here about how she was kind of mean to a lot of people or intimidating to a lot of people. And I wouldn't exactly say that like that's totally her fault. Like obviously I see that her guard is up. I did really like Ocean. I'm glad that he was a very good character for her. So I actually really loved all of the cultural topics in here rather than the high school topics, if that makes sense. So definitely think that this is a fantastic read for a young adult. I'm probably going to save this book because I do want to build a collection of books that I want my future children to read, or even my nieces and nephews. I might be able to, you know, send this to them so that way they can borrow it. So this is gonna stay on my shelf, even though it is, you know, it's done with my Reading to Zero challenge. I honestly cannot believe that I have read 4 books so far off of my Reading to Zero shelf. Like that is nuts. I think the 2 books that I'm gonna start next, I'm going to start the audio of Breaking Free. This is a polygamy cult book, and this Pretty Stolen Dolls, I'm gonna start, I just have the physical copy. So these are gonna be my 2 next reads. Okay, I have had a pretty busy morning. Today is Saturday, and Alvin is usually off Saturdays. Whoops, that was my audiobook. So I usually like to cook like a nice hot breakfast, and then I like to make like a hot meal for him, so that way later when he eats like dinner, he can have like a hot meal instead of heating up leftovers, because the only ever time he gets hot meals are the 2 days that I'm off. So I kind of like to have this like extra third day. So I had done so much cooking this morning, and I listened to my audiobook the whole entire time. I made the sourdough bread, I made chicken corn chowder, I made the pumpkin, not pumpkin, I don't know why I always think it's pumpkin, two loaves of banana chocolate chip bread, and then I also made breakfast, which was sourdough pancakes and sausage and eggs. So I did all of that this morning, plus I edited a whole video that's over on my main channel. It's that February planning video that I was telling you about just the other day. So finally edited that. That is uploading, and it should be done like right now. I can probably press go once I get to work. But I made it to, I think I'm 78% through Breaking Free, which is about the polygamy cult that's like Warren Jeffs. And it is narrated by the author, and I will say that like the narration isn't that great. It's very monotone, and it actually reminds me of like one of the girls on it's one of the Sister Wives show. It's not like the main most popular one, but it was like the other one that I was watching. But like she kind of sounds like a child baby-ish voice. So that's a little irritating. The storyline in general is definitely like what I'm usually interested in cults, where like, number one, she's being sexually abused by her dad, and like her dad is such a terrible person. He has like 78 wives, and he is like becomes like the new prophet, and he will just make up these crazy rules for no reason. Like he'll be like, oh, well, we can't eat garlic anymore, or you can't cut your hair, or you can't do this, you can't do that. And so literally her life just sounds like she's living in hell. It sounds absolutely awful. Nothing in the whole entire book so far, like, it almost like depresses me, because I can't believe that she's having to spend so much of her life just kind of hating her life. And then even like her children, you know, she has multiple children, she had multiple miscarriages, but it's like even her children, like the other sister wives will be mean to her children if they think that her husband is spending like more time with her. And so I just don't understand, because even watching like the Sister Wives show, they all seem so miserable. So it's like, why would you follow this religion or cult or whatever it is when you're so miserable? Like, I just don't understand it. So, oh my gosh. I am hoping that I can finish this book today while I'm at work. Hopefully I get to cook, and then I'll be able to listen to it for about 2 hours while I'm cooking. And then depending upon my closing task, I might be able to listen to another hour later. I'm pretty sure that would be it, because there's around 2 hours left of the audiobook. So that would be perfect. I could finish it tonight. That'll be my 5th book for the 5th day of February. And like, I get so much other stuff done. Like, who am I? I know I'm gonna have burnout. Like, it's gonna be a thing, but at least this weekly vlog is exciting. And this weekly vlog is probably like 2 hours long, let's be honest. It is 12:15, so technically Sunday morning. I got home from work and took a shower, and I did finish Breaking Free while I was at work. I think I'm going to rate this book 4 stars. It did have a lot of the same topics that I really like about cult books, but I think because I listened to the audiobook, I just didn't love the narrator, who was actually the author. It was Rachel Jeffs that narrated the book, but she reminded me of, oh, I looked it up earlier, this one girl from Seeking Sister Wives was Ara Lee from Seeking Sister Wives. That's the voice that it reminded me of throughout this whole entire book. So I just did not like that, but it is definitely a shocking story, and it just makes me, I was talking to my friend Lena, like how frustrating it is that people just can't, like they just don't leave. Like, so many crazy things happen, and you know, you're being sexually assaulted, and you know, you're being told like who to marry, and you're jealous of all those 60 other wives, and like your kids are being abused by, you know, their cousins and their other kids because of everyone being jealous of everybody. Or you have to eat rice because there's no food to eat because they don't give you money to do anything. There's literally nothing to look forward to, like being a sister wife or living in a polygamous cult, and everyone's just like sad and mean and depressed. So it's like, I just don't get why people do this. I don't know. Anyway, so it is kind of a depressing book. It's hard, heavy topics, and Warren Jeffs is just a terrible guy. I actually like looked him up. Oh, I forgot, there's pictures in this book. 1992, that's when I was born. Okay, so look at these pictures. So here she is in 1992. This is her right there. And she was 8 years old, and that's when her father started sexually molesting her. And here she is at 12 years old, and he later on took 12-year-olds as his like child brides and literally married them and got them pregnant. That's one of the things he went to jail for. And they all had to wear pastels, and they all had to make their own clothes. I love the pictures in here. I should have read the physical book. These are most of her sisters. I'm glad that I ended that with looking at the pictures. So anyway, I am going to start Slammed by Colleen Hoover, because the very last Colleen Hoover book that I have to read. So I'm starting that audiobook. I think I'm gonna listen a little bit while I'm headed to bed, and then I'm going to try and read it tomorrow, probably while I'm at work. I really need to read a physical book at home before I go into work, because I need to read my physical books too. I mean, I've been like getting the audiobooks. Like I got the audiobook from Libby, even though I owned this physical book, but it's just easier for me to do the audiobook because then I can listen to it at work. I can't read physically at work. So see you tomorrow. Okay, good morning. Today is actually Monday. It's the last day of me filming this vlog. I did not get to film anything yesterday because I was like really busy with my IVF stuff, and I mean, I'm gonna forever now be busy with it for the next few weeks. I did get my period yesterday, which was fantastic. So I had to call and schedule my appointment, which I'm actually at my appointment for today. So it is 10:34, my appointment's at 10:45. I had to drive like an hour and 20 minutes to my clinic. They have to do a, it's called an IVF baseline appointment. So they do an ultrasound, they do like some blood tests and stuff. And I have to start taking my injections. They're called stims. Actually, tomorrow night, because tomorrow night is day 3 of my cycle. So I got my period yesterday, that was day 1. They had to do this appointment between days 1 and 3, and then I start my stims on day 3, and then I'm going to have to come back here on day 4 of my injections. So I think that's Friday. So I had to like move my schedule around because I was supposed to work like a day shift on Friday. Now I'm gonna be closing because I'm hoping to make my appointment in the morning. But I'm also like really nervous. I was just on the phone during my drive because the rest of my medication still has not come in yet. They were having problems with like the snowstorm and stuff, and so they kept not sending it, and it's supposed to be shipped out today and getting here tomorrow. But like, I called them and I was like, is it actually? Because they've given me so many different dates now, and I need to get my medication by tomorrow night because I have to take it. And if not, like I need to let my fertility clinic know because they might have like an emergency stash that I could take if it's not getting there. But I called and she was like, oh wow, this is like really weird. Like it hasn't been sent out, and like the whole snowstorm thing. And she's like, I hope it's not sitting like on a FedEx truck somewhere, because they are sensitive, especially temperature sensitive. Like I have to keep them refrigerated, and then that would mean like that whole batch is just trash. So she's going to do some research and figure out where the heck those medications are, and if not, they're going to refill all brand new medication for me and get it sent out today to get here tomorrow. But like, it just makes me so nervous because it's like literally like last minute, even though I've been on the phone with all of these pharmacies for 2 weeks now, like trying to get my medication ordered. It's just like crazy because like you can't ever just call somebody and like get a person and get answers. Like you have to call someone, you have to, you know, have extensions or, you know, press their options. It's always like a computer option. And then you have to like wait to talk to somebody, and then they have to transfer you, and then they have to look through it, and you have to be on wait. And like, I mean, it's been hours of me being on the phone, like just for IVF stuff in general. So let me give you an update on my reading. I did read yesterday, even though I didn't get to update you all, because then I went to work and yeah, it was just a busy day yesterday. So I actually started Pretty Stolen Dolls, and I am 95 pages in, so almost about halfway. So I'm hoping to finish this today if I get back in time before I have to work again today, because it's only like 200 some pages, 230 pages. This is actually pretty dark. I'm liking it, but not loving it. I definitely don't think it's gonna be like a favorite read or anything, but mostly because of like just the grammar in general, the storytelling in general, the writing style in general. I just don't love the way it's written, but it is dark and messed up. It's about this guy named Benny who, it like stole these two sisters. I forget what their name is, Jade and Macy, I think. Jade is the older one. She was 14 when she got stolen, and her sister is maybe like 8 or something like that. But they got stolen by him because he like says, oh, they're his pretty little dolls, and like dresses them up and stuff like that. But anyway, so Jade actually escapes, but then the book already fast forwards to like 8 years later, and Jade is a detective now because she's trying to find this guy, because like her sister never got to escape. So I'm interested to see where it goes. It is a series, so it's probably gonna end on a cliffhanger there, but I really don't think I'm gonna start the second book. I don't know. Well, and then I've been reading Slammed by Colleen Hoover, and I have 51 minutes and 32 seconds left. So this has only been okay. Like, it's definitely probably one of my least favorite Colleen Hoover books. I think my least favorite Colleen Hoover book is Heartbones, and that was like young adult, and this one is also, it's her first book written, but it's also just super young adult. So like, I just feel like I'm just rolling my eyes so hard because I don't know, teenagers are just so dramatic about everything, and I feel like that definitely shows in young adult books where it's just like so much drama. And so this is about Lincoln, who is 18 years old, but she's still in high school. She's in her last year of high school, and she goes on a date with this guy, and it turns out that this guy is actually her like slam poetry teacher. So her mom finds out about it and makes her stop like seeing him. But this guy is her next door neighbor. His name's Will. They live next door to each other, and his parents died, and so he's been taking care of his younger brother. His younger brother is also friends with Lincoln's younger brother. So like they're neighbors, and both of their brothers like play together, and she would like babysit and stuff like that. So it's just like a whole mixture of things. But then of course, because it's Colleen Hoover, there's like extra dramatic, you know, deaths and stuff like that, and like, you know, those kinds of things. But I'm just not really feeling this book. I think it's because it's young adult. I just have no connection to it, and I'm just kind of like rolling my eyes about a lot of it, if that makes any sense. So that is my update for now. I need to go into my appointment, and I will talk to you in a bit. Okay, I'm back home, and I'm trying to quick read so that way I can finish my book. But I just wanted to show you like how dark this Pretty Little Dolls book is. He became angry with us talking one time and did the unthinkable. After binding us, he sewed our lips shut. I remember the way the needle burned as it tore through my flesh with such precision. After the first couple holes, I was numb to the pain, officially checked out mentally. The pain was crippling, but it was the scars that worried me most. Okay, so it has been multiple days. Today is Wednesday, and the last day of this vlog was supposed to be Monday, but I've just had a lot going on with injections. I actually did my first set of injections last night, so I'll quick throw in that footage right here. Okay, 7 o'clock, I'm waiting for Alvin to get here. I am in the paper room at work.
2, 1.
Do you already have it all the way in?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And pulling out. Okay.
I didn't even feel that at all. There we go.
Okay. Here we go. Okay.
Damn. I feel like it hurts way more getting blood done. It went really well, and I did my second set today, but I want to just update you on my last reads that I was talking about for this video, and then I'm gonna finish getting this up for you guys. So I ended up finishing Slammed by Colleen Hoover. I think I'm only reading it 2 stars. I believe that's what I put on Goodreads, and I did it just for the fact that, like, you can definitely tell that it's Colleen Hoover's like first book. You know, she was just kind of like throwing pretty much everything in there that she thought would work, and between the immaturity of the characters and then just like, I don't know, I felt like it was kind of unrealistic. I just didn't love it very much. It felt a lot like Heartbones, and Heartbones is my like least favorite Colleen Hoover book, so that was just okay. But then Pretty Stolen Dolls, I believe I also rated that 2 stars because honestly it just felt like a weird like sex king porno. Like, it was actually hardly a crime thriller at all. I was surprised by like how much just sex was in it, but like not even sex, but just like really vulgar things. Like, not that I'm not gonna mention any of it here on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I mentioned one of the things in my Goodreads review, but just did not like it. So fortunately I started out pretty good with some pretty good reads, and then I ended with some not so great reads, but I've already finished I think maybe 2 more books like since I've finished those vlogs, so I'm still reading really well, and I'm excited for just future vlogs that I'm gonna be making. I hope that you all really enjoyed this video. I am planning on making weekly vlogs at least once a month, if not twice if I can fit it in. This is a long video, but hopefully you all like it, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye.